I'm Dave, this is John, we're at Gentleman Rose Club and we're going to do a skin fade and a beard trim. So, we're going to trim the beard. Are we having like a lined up beard, or do you want to keep it kind of rugged?
Yeah, lined up, please.
Lined up, yeah, okay. And then we're going to do a skin fade as well, yeah?
Yes, please.
So I'm just combing through now to see if there's any contour indications. See there's a mole on his neck down here. Be careful of that one. And on top, what's the plan on top? So, are you still growing it out?
Yeah, I'm still growing it out.
You're not putting a line in here though, yeah?
You can put a line in, yeah?
You want to put the line in?
Yeah, we can put parting in, yeah.
Okay, sweet. I think that's just about long enough now to start heading that way.
Yeah.
Okay, sweet. So we're going to take a number 2 guard. Going to have the blade closed. And we're just going to work out our first line around here, weight line. This works as a guide for us to put the skin fade in basically. It's as high as it's going to go. We're going to part on this side, so I'm not going too high there. I'm just making sure that I've got enough to blend into the fade and then enough to take over that way. This isn't really taking much off, it's just taking just the ends. I know that's going to be the top of my fade. I'm wearing gloves today because I've been getting hair splinters lately and I'm sick and tired of it, to be honest. We're going to come around the back here, we're going to start our 0 fade. So we're going to put a guideline in now. Yeah, these, what I've done as well is I haven't got them fully set forward. I've took them back just enough so that I'm not putting a really sharp line into the head. I'm going to work from about the temple and I'm going to join that line up. Putting just a slight curve in it so that it doesn't look too square. I'm going to work around the other side. If you start at the back, you've got something to join the sides up to, so you're not just lost. You can kind of use that as a marker to back to there, and you can work out what a nice straight line is from the back here. If you stand back as well, you can normally see, you can work out if the line's plumb. Right, now we're going to remove the bulk from the 0. So working up with a detailer. Can use a normal clipper as well, but this, if you do it with a normal clipper, you're going to have to go with a normal clipper and then a detailer to get it short enough for the foil. Okay, here we're putting the beard to a point and we're going to taper it in.
We're going to taper it in today.
We're going to taper it in, so I'm going to just square off the height that I want the beard to start the blend at. And that sections off that for when I'm actually trimming that beard. Right, so we're just clearing the jawline here while we're there. Tidy up there while we're here as well. Not too far in so the hair can regrow on its own. Not look too bad when it outgrows. We're going to use the foils now, so we're just going to put a bit of talc. This just stops any irritation when you're using the foils. Okay, again we're starting at the back. We've got the foil, and we're going to mark out a line. I'm not pushing too hard, but just enough for it to clear the hair. And then everything below that line is going to come off with the foil. So this time you use your guideline from the fade. So you want to use that, sorry, from the 0 line. So you want to use that to keep like 1.5 inches all the way around. And then we're going to start taking that out. It's just a slow process. There's no way of really speeding it up. It's good to go in all different directions with the foil. You're trying to trap the hair in between those holes. So just doing that won't do anything. It won't be as effective. Okay, now we're going to work the line out. So we're going to go down first. The hair's thicker at the back of the head as well, so you have to do more work at the back. Yeah, through here, that line will be very prominent, so you've kind of got to work a bit harder there. Sometimes as well, when you're this close, you're seeing every detail, and you think there's a line there. When you just take a step back, you see that actually it's blended and that you don't need to be doing as much as you do in that area. And vice versa, sometimes it will look clear and then you can step back and see, no, actually there is a difference between it. Last bit for this is I like to run over with the Andis again, just to make sure that there's nothing trued in that I've missed. Right, we've got magic clips and they're open to a 0.5 position. So now we're going to work out. We're going to just take about 3/4 of an inch. And we're just flicking out with that. Okay, then we're going to drop it down to 0.25. Just going to flick out just the edge of that. I can just hear it just cutting a little bit, and as soon as I can hear that cutting, I'm pulling it away. Now I just drop it down again, so half that, so that's like a 1.25 now. Sorry, 0.25. Okay, now we're going to work from the 2 to the 0 with a number 1 guard, and it's going to be open, so it's going to be a 1.5 to start with. We're going to work down. So this way of fading I've changed. So a lot of people fade up and a lot of people fade down, but I've kind of mixed the two. So I fade up to a 0.5, and then I fade down from a 1.5 to a 1. I just think it works quite well. It works well for me anyway. It might not work well for everybody. Okay, so I drop that down then to a so it's a 1 now. So it was up there, and then I closed it, and I'm just going a little bit lower than the 1.5. Anyway, I can see a blemish that I think I can take out with a 1. I'm taking it out now with this. I can see now from the front it's starting to make a nice shape on the side of the head. It's giving structure. We're getting to the bottom of the fade now, so I've got a closed 0.5 guard, and I'm going to open it up to about halfway, so it's 0.75, yeah? Now we're going to whip out these last bits. Then I'm going to drop it right down to 0.5. This works wonders on a fade for some reason. The 0.5 guard seems to just take out that last bit. And make it look nice and smooth. Lighting's a bit dodgy on this one side here in this shot, especially if I've had the windows put through. So it's good to just pull them around to a light that you can actually see what the fade looks like. You still see a little something through here that needs breaking up, so I'm going to drop that down to a 0. So it's at 0. And I'm just going to work out with the corner of the clipper, just that little bit, break that line up a little bit. Okay, we're finished with the fade now, so we're going to just spray a bit of water on. And we're going to get it looking in the final style that we want it to. So I know that he wants a parting on this side. So we've got a lot of hair here that was cut in from a parting a long time ago. So it's quite hard not to take too much, not to make that too wide when it's already been cut in. So we're going to drill this line in.
Should we use the drill then?
Yeah, I'm going to get the Makita drill out. Okay, so you see that hair there, look, there's hair there that I can see it isn't going to be part of this. So I'm trying to drop the blade down on that hair. I'm not going to the side of it, because I'm going to have to work it out from either side in order to keep the line narrow. Okay, I like to put in that guideline there, and then I like to clear it out with a razor. Right, we put some shaving gel on, and we're going to be clearing downwards with a razor. So I get soft brush now. I'm going to brush away that hair so that I can see what's actually going on down there. Right, we're going to work on the top now. So I'm going to blow dry it in the direction that I want the hair to go. It's going to be hot, mate, so let me know if it's too hot, okay? Right, I'm happy with the length on top here, so we're going to blend the sides. I'm going to do that with a clipper over comb. Start with. I'm going to do that by working up, and I can just see there's a little bit that's got to come off there. And I'm looking down the hair in the mirror to check that everything's nice and tight, and I'm not going too far into the head. Okay, so I'm just going to thin out just the edges now of that blend with a clipper, just so there's no harsh line there. I'm going to taper through the sides, through here. I'm not going to take much off the length, but I'm just going to trim a nice angle into there. And then we're going to trim the moustache and maybe thin through the front slightly. And then obviously line it up. So I'm just going to remove any stray hairs. Keep them around the front so look at what I'm doing. Okay, just tilt. I want you to just tilt your head up for me. That's it, lovely. Right, now I'm just going to take out just not an inch, sorry, just a couple of mil off the bottom. So do you prefer more of a square look on it, or like round? What's the goal? End goal?
Trying to grow the length to it, to be honest with you.
So do you want it long and pointy, or do you want it kind of long and square?
Yeah, pointy would be nice.
Pointy, okay. He wants it to a point, mate.
What do you think? All round. Oh, hold on. When you say point, what are we thinking?
Well, I'm not cutting it into a point at all, mate. But you're saying you want to grow it out. So are you saying you want to grow it to that kind of shape? Or do you want to grow it out, or do you want to grow it round?
Just down.
Just down, okay.
got missed or whatever, and on the train he'd already get with another girl. Oh, and they're like, oh, he's going to ruin his relationship with this girl, he's married or anything. Oh, they love the drama. Yeah. Josh, you got to watch that, man. Yeah. Oh, smoking. Yeah. Did she actually? She lost her.
Just a few hairs, and we'll probably end up trimming this until it's at the length he requires.
That wasn't a revolution today. Oh, I'm sorry, that. Not too bad.
Okay, we're going to trim the tash now, so parting it either side, and I'm going to work in a little bit of a whale tail there. And I'm going to work out from the edges, trimming just around the side of the mouth. I'll take on the top while I'm here. Then I'll work out towards the sideburn. Clear under the bottom lip while you're there. Then I'm just going to take that top bit in. There's a few hairs there I can see that are going to come off. So we're just going to blend the sideburn now. I've got 1.5 guard. So 1 guard, sorry, in a half position, 1.5 position. Just working out like that. Drop it down to a 1. Take the guard off to a half. Then go to a 0.25. And then down to a 0. Okay, so we've got a little bit of gel here. Just going to work that into his cheeks.
We started seeing that dark. Is it dark or darkness? The TV shows?
Yeah, I've seen that one. It's cool though, it's good.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Fantastic, yeah. Would definitely recommend.
Hi, this is James App from the Beardbrand Barbershop in Ridgefield, Connecticut, and today we have Mike.
Hey.
All right, Mike, what do you want to do today?
Mainly just clean it all up, you know, lose a lot of the weight around the ears, the back, definitely take it down a lot. You know, my bangs are really long, as you can see, definitely chop those down a little bit. Want to keep as much of the length on the top as possible, but of course blend it in, and same with this side too. So, you know,
So you want to keep the length?
yeah.
Kind of bring it in a bit.
Yeah.
Like a helmet.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. All right.
Helmet.
All right, so what we're going to do with Mike's hair is, because his hair is incredibly thick, there's a lot of weight in this. That's why when I go like this, it's just going to stand up and do its own thing right now. So what I'm going to do for this cut, which might be a little strange to some people, is I'm actually going to start to do an undercut. I'm going to go underneath his hair and his bangs to give it that kind of short cut to the head, and then I'm going to start to blend it in with some texturizing shears and everything like that. With the back, I'm going to go super tight and everything, and the same thing on this side. I'm going to do sort of an undercut. I'm going to go underneath this, all this weight here, but let this fall down and then chop into it. So I got my magic clip, and of course we're going to disinfect this for
I have a question.
half an hour.
How thick is his hair? How thick?
Very thick.
How very thick?
All right, you can see already how thick his hair is. I'm having difficulty getting it through his head. So we're gonna start with the back so I can get a little bit of a guideline. But I'm starting with the red Speedo guide number 4.
Down to like.
And I'm going into this hair right now. You can see like it's gonna kill him because there's so much. You have product in this?
Yes.
Yeah, he's got a lot.
Good amount.
Okay, so a good amount for you is probably a lot for somebody else. There's a lot of product in here. So I know it looks like I'm jerking him around here, but I'm just trying to get into that hair right now. So you also see I'm kind of just pulling off here. Okay, so here's where we're gonna start a bit of our undercut. So we're gonna kind of pull this length up a bit. I'm just gonna kind of go underneath it right there. This is gonna help him breathe a lot more. So that looks ridiculous right now. When we blend that in, it's gonna look a lot nicer. Same thing on this side, because he wants to keep as much length as he can on top. This is a very unusual haircut for people to get. It's just because of all the length that he's got. And we're trying to just blend it all in to keep all of that going right now. His hair is incredibly thick. I've said that 1,000 times. But man, this stuff is, it's like I need a weed whacker for all this. So right now, I think,
Steel wool.
yeah, you look like a mushroom.
Yeah, it's all right.
But it's starting to take some shape, you can kind of see. So I'm gonna work on the back first, because that's probably gonna be the easiest part for me to do. So I wanna tackle that first. So I'm taking a red Speedo guide now, and I'm just gonna start creating my taper. I think we're gonna get bashed for having the song on here.
Why? Oh, who cares? If you don't like this song, don't watch the video.
Thanks, Mike. Mike, 2020. All right, so now I'm switching to a 3. I'm just trying to blend it up into that 4 right now. How much lighter do you feel already in the back?
I think we should just keep it like this.
I think it's perfect. I think we're good. So usually with my 3 all the way open on the red Speedo guides, it usually works out to be a 4, so I'll kind of hit this, just a light little taper with this, a 3.5, it's almost a 4, and just start pulling off. So we talked about like what's everybody's order in which they do a outline. Again, I do it usually right after the sides. This is all going to get hit with scissors because this is going to clog up my clippers pretty soon, I think. This is a skeletonized T-line, whatever it is, I don't know, T outliner, which you can see when I was doing the outline of the back of his ear. I can really see what I'm doing. I'm not having that bulkiness of it. If you got a T-liner and you're barbering, if you haven't done it yet, check it out, how to do it on YouTube. There's a couple videos out there to show you how to do it. Check it out. So this would be something, if we were just doing a 4 all the way up, maybe keeping some length on the top, I would call this like something we do like a gentleman's type of haircut. But because we have to go under, he wants to keep all the length and there's so much hair and thickness, we're kind of doing like a little bit different of a gentleman's haircut. So we're still going to keep it tight to the face. You're a real estate agent, yeah. Duh. So you got to be looking good for your clients all the time. So Mike needs to be looking good. He's got to look sharp and fresh. You just want to do something too dramatic, like, you know, hard part with the you know, bring the hair all the way up to here. That's a little too much for you. So you want to look good. Now, usually for someone with Mike's, the amount of hair Mike has on the top of his head, I would usually wash it first, just for the sake of time. You can already see the product coming out, how much you use. Oh my God, dude. Ew. No way.
Get out
So we're just gonna wet it as much as possible. And this is good to not use your clippers on because sometimes the product can clog up your clippers. Right, Charles?
Left.
All right, so with this I need to tackle it with scissors right now. So we have our undercut kind of right here, as you can see. That's our like guideline right there. So I just want to kind of clean up these lines a little bit. Just so I have, when I start to blend it in, it's gonna be blended very nicely. So I'm just doing my scissor over comb right now, like I always do. See right there, he's got a lot of that. What song is this?
I don't know, but it's not good.
I got myself a little bit better of a guideline. So when I start to blend that in and take some of the weight out of it, it's going to blend in very nicely to that 4 right now. Again, I know this is a very odd way to go about hair cutting, but you have to, each client is different. Each hair on the head of each client is going to be different. Mike's got super thick hair, as I've said 1,000 times already. He wants to keep the length but get rid of bringing this in. So how do we keep the length? We're going to go underneath it, take it off, and then we're going to blend all that in. So you can see already how this is a good technique to have because his hair is going to be going that way. You want it to be longer on this side and shorter on that side. So I'm not going to go above his eyes because I know how his hair is going to style when it dries out. And it's going to start to crink up and get shorter right now that it's long. So I'm going to try to keep as much of this as I can. It's still following that guideline of going up. I'll go back over. Especially when you get the comb through it. So I'm just kind of finding my guideline that I made here. I pretty much estimated maybe like half, quarter of an inch off. I'm just kind of following it the whole way through. Just making sure I got all of that. Again, I'm going to want it to be choppy because when it's going to be choppy, it's going to give it the effect that it's blended in. I'm going to change this. I can't. All right, so we're back with some new jams now. All right, so now I got my thinning shears, and I'm going to use these I'm going to use them to texturize, I shouldn't say that, but I'm also going to use them to take out some of the weight in his hair right now. So for me to do this, the way I found that I like to do it, some of you might freak out, I know that, but I just take the hair up and just go straight through it. This is going to get a lot of weight. So some of the hairs are cutting, some of the hairs are not. See how much is already coming out, but you can still see it's still got some shape and everything to it. I don't want to take off too much on this side, but I do want to take off some length. Right, so now that I got a good amount of the weight off, I might come back and still take more out. Now I'm going to start to thin it or texturize it with just the tips of this. This is going to help it blend in. So because again, his hair is so thick, I'm going through this a couple times because 1 or 2 snips isn't really going to do anything for me. If this was thinner hair, it might have that effect on it. You see I'm seeing off right now, getting those tips. So you can see it's starting to take some shape to it now, but I'm still going in there, I'm trying to get that to blend out just by thinning it and texturizing it. This might not be a technique that you use. I found this technique with thicker hair and guys that like the gentleman style cut works for me really well. Oh, there we go.
Right up old Jimmy's alley.
Okay, so now we're going to go to our other shears, these, which are going to texturize the hell out of it. Again, I'm just going to be doing the tips. I might go in a little bit deeper, depending on what I see some thickness at. I'm going up into it as well.
Back on it.
I'm constantly combing it to the direction that it's going to go, because he is going to style this and put a lot of product in it. Well, it's kind of odd. It's quiet without Jared here.
I can change that.
Please don't, Charles. And again, I talked about this in the last video. I'm constantly moving, all right? I hit a spot, and I'll keep moving on. Because if I stay in that one spot, especially with these or thinning shears and stuff like that, I could potentially leave a hole in somebody's head. Not like physically in your head, but in the hair of the head, I could leave a hole, which probably wouldn't look good.
How's it feel? A lot lighter.
Yeah. So you can see right here, TJ, walk over here. That's starting to blend very nice, and that's all that choppiness that's making you think that it's textured, but you can still see a couple lines right here, so I'm going to keep going up into it and going with the direction that he's going to comb it. And even with all this chopping that I've done, it doesn't really look like I've done much because his hair is so thick. How thick is it? Now some of you might be asking like, oh, okay, this is a lot of chopping, a lot of texturizing and stuff like that. How's it going to grow back? Is it going to look terrible? Like I've cut your hair for a while now, right? Yeah. It doesn't grow back. I mean, if you let it grow, how long did you let that last one grow out? A couple months?
Yeah, 2 or 3 months.
2-3 months. So that's 2-3 months of growth. This, I mean, if we talked how many times people come. Usually people come to get their hair cut 4 to 5 weeks. If he came every 4 to 5 weeks, this would grow out very nicely.
Beardbrand, notice how James doesn't have to trash talk his cameraman because he's actually good.
Yeah, I don't trash talk TJ because he knows what he's doing. All right, so I'm kind of liking the length. Mike, you don't like the sideburns, you said you want them tighter at the head? But what do you think of that?
I don't know. What do you think?
It depends. It's your hair, man.
I mean, I like the length on them. Before they were just like,
but yeah,
bushy-ish.
So you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna do. So I'll take the thinning shears to these because you said your sideburns will grow out.
Yeah, faster than anything else.
So I'll take the thinning shears to them and I'll just kind of lightly tap them just to give it some texture so it doesn't grow out so bushy. He's having a difficult time managing those.
Only I could grow a beard now. I think it looks pretty dope.
Good. All right, so we're gonna put some product in. Is that cool?
Yeah.
All right, cool. So
I love how I just said dope, by the way. I don't usually say dope, by the way.
All right, so we're gonna use some sea salt spray to be able to get a shot of all that I have. This is our back bar. This is what we use for clients. I want to try some new stuff out. All right, so we're gonna start with this first. Temple Smoke sea salt spray. I'm just gonna run it through the hair so it's got that beachy feel right now. And this is gonna work with his hair very well because of how much there is. Oh my God, I taste it. Oh, it's so salty. Oh God, it's in my mouth. So I'm just gonna work that sea salt spray through the hair right now. I'm just gonna blow dry it in. I'm gonna take some styling balm. Now, I'm pretty sure what I read online about this is it actually has some sort of humidity control to it as well. But this is good for his hair because it's so thick that it's gonna stop it from curling up and doing not what he wants to do. All right, Mike, what do you think?
I think it looks pretty snazzy.
Yeah, you like it?
Oh, yeah.
Definitely took it in. Good? Cool. Thank you, as always, my friends. Appreciate it.
I'll see you later.
All right, I'll see you later. Thank you from the Dapper Dad.
What's going on, guys? This is Justin from the Men's Club Barbershop, and I'm here today with Rob, and we are going to clean him up and bring him back to life. Alright, when I say bring him back to life today, what we're going to do is we're going to do like more of a classic side part. We're going to take about a 2 up on the sides, part it here, kind of leave the front disconnected, and then more blended towards the back. Taper everything in around the sideburns and the back of the neck, and then kind of bring the beard in, blow dry that out, straighten it up, get all the strays off there. And then we're probably going to trim up his mustache a little bit too. Get it out of his mouth a little bit so he's not eating it. Alright, so the first thing I always like to do is, usually I like to wet the hair down just to see where everything falls. Get everything naturally. Alright, then my first step, like I said, I'm going to do is 2 up the sides. Take it to just about the crown area to leave some shape there. And then for my next step, I'm going to taper out the back of his neck. I'm going with my clipper all the way closed. This is just a wall cordless clipper. And then for my next step, I'm going to make my second line with a clipper that I like to use that has like a little bit of a thicker blade to make like skin lines like this, because there's not as much give to it. You have a little bit more room to work because, like I said, the blade's a little thicker. And open the clipper all the way up and make the next line up. And then you have this little line under here, close that clipper just a little bit. You can use the corner of the blade too if you have to. It's a smaller area, so it might be easier to just use the corner. And then I'm gonna put a 1 guard on my cordless clipper, open that all the way up, start just above that line, and gradually close the lever as I'm going down to get that line out of there. A lot of people have these little indents in the back of their head here, so you kinda gotta use the corner to get in there and get those lines out of there. And then since we did a 2 on the side, I like to kind of just take a 1.5, the corner of the blade up and around the ear, kind of make it shorter so it's not as full around the ear, give it a couple extra days. And then the same thing for the sideburns too. Usually like if I do a 2 on the side of the head, you know what I mean, I try to take the sideburns in the back of the neck. If they don't want them completely tapered out, at least a clip to a 1.5 clips shorter, just so it gives it an extra couple days. And people typically notice that first because when your sideburns grow out, it is in your actual line of sight right there. So this is just my cordless clipper all the way open. Just tapering the sideburns out a little bit, make it look neater. And then I do the same thing, 1 clip all the way open. Alright, and next what I do is I like to just outline the hairline, and then I'll go into doing the top. And then for this, just kind of keep this as natural as possible. Just a clean line, up and around. As you can see, I'm actually using my middle finger here and this finger and this whole hand as a guide. And then here with this finger, just to keep my hand steady. Same thing with the sideburns, keeping it as natural as possible. And with his beard line, I like to see where that starts. I start my line there, follow that up a little bit more than halfway, and then I'll come up here to his arch, follow that, and kind of just meet the 2 in the middle. Still keeping it as natural, but slight rounded edges there. Alright, so now for my next step, okay, I'm just going to transition into the top. Now we're going to just kind of trim the ends up a bit to make it look a little cleaner. It's been a long time since Rob's gotten a haircut, as you could tell. So we're going to kind of trim the ends, make it healthy again. Blend in this side, and then we're going to blend in pretty much from all of this around to about here. And then the front is going to just kind of hang over, more of like a disconnected front look. Typically for the top, what I like to do is I like to make a mohawk section. Straight down the center of the head, just to kind of establish the length. And as you can see, all of this is dead, so we're just going to cut all that off. And just follow that all the way back. Leave it a little bit heavier in the back towards the cowlick area so it lays. Because with that length in the back, it creates the weight to weigh all of the hair down. Or some people like to just chop the cowlicks off or ask you to take it shorter because it's sticking up, but they don't really realize that when you chop it off, when it grows back in, it's so short that it starts to stick up. Then we just follow this line. This has to be 1/4 of the world's ginger population right here.
Concentration is incredible right now.
Don't get too close, they'll multiply.
Were you in here last week too, when there was another redhead if Jake was cutting someone? Yeah. Rob was in here last week.
Just couldn't stop laughing.
Just getting cleaned up for something, and Jake was cutting someone who had red hair. A lot of gingers in one room.
Dominating the room.
And now we're just gonna blend this transition area in. And usually with this area, I like to, your moving blade on your shears should be acting as if it's like a moving blade on your clipper, constantly moving.
We're choosing to do a scissor over comb here as opposed to a clipper over comb. Any particular reason?
Yeah, it lays a little bit more natural. I'm just gonna go in with thinning shears and just take some of the bulk out right here in this area. Alright, now for styling this hair, what I'm gonna do is just put a little bit of product in before the blow dry. And for styling purposes, I like to just use a wide tooth comb. Gives it, again, more of like a natural look as opposed to slicking it straight back with your fingers. Alright, now for the beard. I'm gonna kind of just run through it and pick it out first. Get all the knots and tangles out if there is any.
Try to cut me out at a time. I don't think it worked.
No, it's not bad actually. Just wet it down, comb it out, and then blow dry it straight. I'm going to go through with my detachable clipper, keep most of the shape and size. We're just going to go through, I'm going to skim the ends, get all the stray hairs off there, give it some shape on the bottom, and then just taper everything in here.
Often you get your beard trimmed.
I think recently it's been probably about once every like 2 months or so, just to make sure that the ends are healthy enough.
The beards are tricky underneath here. They kind of grow out and then like up and curl under. So you always want to make sure you kind of comb out the bottom and get everything that's hanging over. Enough for the mustache. Do you still want all of it?
Yeah, I was gonna try and keep twirling it. It just seemed like it was getting a bit unhealthy and like
Yeah,
wiry
I got
towards
you.
the ends. See, my problem is I have a dog now, but the dog was a rescue, so she is like super duper skittish. So getting her to do anything's real tough, especially in the mornings when I have to be in work by 9 and then be at the L by 8, trying to get her ready and taken care of, and then getting myself taken care of. I don't always have time to blow dry and groom as I should.
I don't know. I'm too busy grooming everyone else. Yeah, for the mustache, I'm just gonna kind of trim it above the lip a little bit, keeping most of this line so you can twirl it back, but just taking a little bit off so it's not all up in his food when he's eating. Mustaches like this really limit you to like wings and cupcakes and all those other things.
That's a really good point.
Seriously, yeah. Ice cream, soup, honestly, just. And for technique too, styling your mustache, use a smaller brush and kind of blow dry it back. Get it completely out of the way there.
I say it's 90%, 95% of mustache styling is blow drying.
Okay.
Do you still want to trim it?
What's that?
Do you still want to trim it down?
I would take the very tips
Yeah.
off the side there. Hey, listen to me telling the client what to do here.
And for the stash, I'm just gonna kind of point cut, pretty much just poke at these little ends here. And if he doesn't twirl it, it'll blend in with the rest of his beard. And if he does want to twirl it, he has that option as well. Alright, now we just have to fade from all this in right here. And you just start with a bigger clip, bigger guard, just to be safe, err on the side of caution. And this is a 2, and you just work your way down. Alright, then I'm just going to put a little bit of this this Beardbrand styling balm in there to kind of just mat everything down. Alright guys, and that's that. Like I said, we did a 2 on the side, kept everything natural and clean, kept some weight around the crown here, and now all he has to do is just kind of style it over and back. And then the beard, just maintained it. He wanted to keep all of the length pretty much and just make it look clean. So what I did was, like I said, took all the strays off and shaped it a bit around the bottom and kept everything. And brought him back to life.
Much needed.
Much needed.
Right, Tobias,
Yes.
what we're going to do today?
So I like a fade, not quite the skin fade, but quite short on the sides.
Yeah.
Take some of the top and get some volume out. Trim the beard a bit and yeah, keep the length.
Okay.
Yeah.
You got a reference?
Yeah, I got a reference here.
So that's what you're going for on the sides.
on the
So
sides, yeah.
yes, that's not
Quite
it's not a skin
short.
fade. It's like a 1 on the sides.
Yeah. That would be
And then we can
perfect.
taper it in the very bottom bit. We'll taper that in. But a 1 would give you that shape. You like that way it drops down and round a little bit here, that little bit of weight.
Yes, I like that. Yeah.
And are you going to grow the top out? So because obviously his hair's a little bit longer on top.
Yeah.
So Greg's hair's a little bit longer on top than yours is at the moment, but we can cut it
Yeah.
with that in mind, going that way.
That would be perfect.
Yeah, cool. Okay, and then you want to grow the beard out a little bit as well, don't you?
Yes,
you want
I
to
like that.
get your Viking beard on.
My Viking look.
So you're going to grow the Viking beard out. So we'll, like you say, you want a little bit of a taper in here anyway, just to blend it from the hair into
Great.
the beard. Keep the lines clean here.
Yeah.
And then we're going to grow this out. So we're just making it sharper so that you've got some vision of where you want to be with it.
Yeah.
Cool.
Great.
Really good. You're still doing your, call it your university course?
Yes, the chiropractic.
Chiropractic course?
AACC, yes. Now I'm year 2, so it's starting to shape a bit.
Nice.
Been cracking up a bit of backs and necks.
Oh!
That's I'm starting to be there, become a chiropractor. Really exciting.
That's exciting, isn't it?
It is.
I used to go there.
Yeah.
You guys used to practice on me.
Yeah, nice. Yeah, the 4th year is one year of full practice, so we're going to be kind of like a chiropractor is great, great practice before we get into the whole work.
Do you practice on each other?
Yes, we do. So my neck might be a bit stiff sometimes.
What,
Because obviously we're not good at it right now. I mean, we're
Yeah.
practicing, and our necks are not like, we don't need an adjustment as the same as the ones that have actually had.
Who are coming in
great
and actually
technique.
asking for an adjustment, yeah.
Precisely.
Okay, Tobias, we're going to talk through a little bit about what we're doing as well as chatting.
Yeah, great.
Just so that folks at home can see what we're doing. So we took it up to the temple and we're going to drop it down into the shape of the head. Similar to the picture that you showed me of the last Beardbrand video that you were watching with Greg. Greg the Jaw.
Great.
That man's got the most squarest jaw I've ever seen in a man.
Can't see it, mate.
Come on, you can't see it. But he has, hasn't he? He's got that.
Square beard.
Yeah, he's got that square beard.
Yeah, what do you think of that?
What, the square beard?
Like, who has the best beard? You or him?
Out of me and him? Oh, I have a much better beard than Greg's.
Yeah, I agree.
But the thing is, Greg has about 4 foot in height on me.
Oh.
And he's much wider than me.
Yeah.
So,
well, height isn't
in
everything.
stature, he's much more of a man than I am. Yeah. So, Tobias, I'm going to come round the sides with the guard 1. And then I think what we'll do with the bottom bit is we'll go in with a 0.5 and just give you a nice little taper just at that very bottom.
Yeah, that'd be perfect.
Because when you were showing, like you said to me, you were sort of done with the skin fade thing. You didn't really want that done.
Yeah.
But you wanted it to still be short.
Of course, of course.
And to create the shape that you want, and to give the impression of your hair on top being that little bit longer, you need that definition between the length through the back and the sides. So, and this is what having a one back and sides sounds like that was a bit of a boring haircut, but actually, a 1's a really nice length because it is really short. Pre everyone having skin fades, a 1 always was really short. Can you imagine? You remember that, Carlos, when people used to go into a barbershop and go, "I want a 1 back and sides," and it was like, "Wow, that's a really short haircut." Because sort of in the 90s, everyone had quite long hair.
Yeah.
In the 90s, when Carlos was in his 30s, maybe Carlos.
In the 90s,
Yeah.
Definitely.
I like the music at that time.
What, the 90s music?
Yeah. Definitely. Around the 70s, 80s. That's perfect.
Yeah. I think the thing is with the late 80s, early 90s, there was like that. There was a birth of quite a lot of music as well. Like the New Romantics and stuff like that. But I also really love hip hop. So for me, like listening to sort of Run DMC and the Beastie Boys and NWA and stuff like that. I remember the first time I heard one of my friends had an American import of Straight Outta Compton, and I went round to his house, and his brother was much older than us, and he had imported it in from America, and he went, "Listen to this." And he put it on, and we were like, "Oh my god, what are they saying?" Like English people had never heard anyone talking like that ever.
Oh, really?
And it wasn't on the telly. We didn't have the
up with
internet.
the lyrics and
there was no internet. There was nothing like that. I mean, we were from the south of England, and no one talks like that. And it blew my mind. And so I recorded it onto a cassette and took it home. And I remember playing it, and my mum heard it. Wow, she did overreact slightly to that.
What is this music?
She went, "Oh my goodness, my dear, why are you listening to these lyrics?" Something like that.
So she understood it. She understood it.
She knew what was being said. Yeah. Okay, so we're going to go in with the clippers here, just taking out all this weight now through the sides. Okay. This is what's going to give you that slightly squarer look. All right, sharpening it all up, making it look a little bit fresher. And also, this is what's going to make this top bit look a little bit longer. So it's going to give you it's going to create that shape straight away when you look in the mirror or when you look face on to the camera. You can see straight away, taking that weight in, making it look nice and square, makes this look much longer than it did previously when he had a round haircut. Did you ride your bike here?
Yeah, of course.
Nice.
Yeah.
But you go along the seafront here. Did you go along the seafront to?
You know what? I managed to. My locker was kind of stuck when I wanted to open it.
Yeah.
Unlock it. So I had to run up into my apartment, get my spray and spray it up and oil it up because I couldn't unlock it.
Couldn't you?
No, I couldn't. So that cost me like 10 minutes.
Okay, Tobias, I'm just blending this in now, okay?
Yep.
So we've gone to a 1.5. I'm just giving it a little bit of a softer edge to the blend. In the haircut that you showed me, there was a little bit of a definition between that length through here and the clippering side of it. So we're just going to leave a little bit of this weight here because that's what you're going to grow in now. So let's just sharpen up these edges and make this beard pop a little bit while you're growing it out. So instantly just giving you like a little bit of a definition in front of the ear is going to help. Straight away, just having the sides cut has made it look so much better a shape for you. And then we're going to come in and just give you a little bit of a tidy on the cheek line. Do you eat reindeer out there?
I haven't tried it yet, but I'd say it's one Icelandic. He's in year 1 now, and he shot a reindeer, splashed out like a Quentin Tarantino movie. It hit like a vein or something, and it was just blood everywhere. But he told me that it was the meat is so dense, it's so tender, and it's so much protein that you only need a little bit of it. Yeah, a little bit, and you get so full, and you feel it for so many hours.
Okay, we're going to take it through with the texturizing scissors. We're just going to take a little bit of the weight out. Okay. Just so it's a little bit easier for you to style. Yeah, just the connection through the sides to the top needs to come off a little bit as well. There's a little bit too much weight there. And it sits back better. Your hair's so naturally curly through the front, isn't it?
It is. It's like only in the front. Couldn't go further, or the whole hair, it had to be in the front.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. If we could what bit should we make frizzy? How about the front bit where everyone sees? Yeah, let's do the front bit.
Just mess up this little boy's hair so he can't have a long hair or anything. It just comes up in a natural blonde afro. Yeah, of course.
Okay, let's taper the sides in a little bit on the beard.
Perfect. So,
are you staying here in the UK for Christmas, or are you going to go home?
Well, yes. Now the lockdown came. The university is going to run through as it has been since September, so I'm gonna head home the 4th or the 3rd of December. Yeah.
And how long will you be at home for?
I will stay there until around 10th of January.
Yep.
If everything goes as planned, but you don't know right now because of the. It needs to be in a what was it called? The list of government corridors, the government sites that
quarantine.
Yeah, so if Norway needs to be in a quarantine, if you come from Norway and you need to go quarantine, I need to reschedule my plans. But I hope to be home for Christmas. That would be lovely.
Right, we're going to put a little bit of sea salt spray on to dry the top. Okay. Don't need very much. It's just to stop that fluffiness happening. What I'm doing is I'm heating it up and then I'm letting it cool down in the brush, and it takes out that frizziness through the front. You see that? Smoother.
It's really smooth.
I was hoping for a better reaction than that, but he's not going for it, so. So if people ask you what haircut you've got, you say, I've got the Norwegian Viking on holiday in the south of France. This is what this is. All right?
Oh really? Yeah.
Yeah, this is what
Southern France, I've been there before.
This is what I've gone with. So we got the Viking on holiday in France. The picture you showed me was, Greg had quite a high lift through the front, and we've actually sort of been able to create that straight away without you know, we were talking about it growing out and being able to get that shape, but I think we've pretty much got that shape straight off the bat.
Really have.
The beard looks better, shaped in a little bit more, and I've left that length for you there. Just tidied that very end bit under there, cleaned the lip off, tidied that in here, and just tapered that beard in clean. It's clean in front of the ear, which is what gives you that nice sharp finish. Let me just put a little bit of styling product on your hair, if that's okay. It's going to calm it down, a little bit of styling balm. So it will just take that fluff off the hair and it will give it a little bit of hold. I need a little bit. Goes a long way. So work it through the main body of the hair and then work towards the front. So you're not putting all the product in the front of the hair.
I've done my mistakes. Mistake it every time.
Well, you just do that straight away.
Yeah,
there you go. Everybody does that straight away. And they go, oh, it makes my hair look so greasy. Only the front though. I think we're going to put in a little bit of tree ranger oil as well. Just a little bit of beard oil for you, just to hydrate the beard because it's a little bit dry as well. Okay.
God, what am I doing?
Couple of drops. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
It's a nice smell.
Nice smell. He's a good looking boy as well, isn't he, Carlos? He's a good looking boy. For a Viking, he's alright.
Hey guys, I'm Cisco. I'm here at Beardbrand campus. I'm here with Kevin, and today we're gonna give him a haircut and a beard trim. What are we doing today?
I usually go pretty short on the sides, like a 1.5, tapering up. Hard part here, and then a little bit fuller in the front.
Cool.
Back.
And then as far as the beard?
It's pretty full right now. I haven't shaved it in a little while. Maybe a little trim down here.
Cool. And
shaped up.
on the neckline, round, squared, tapered,
Rounded.
rounded off. Cool.
Do you have any kids, Francisco?
No kids. I do have a dog that acts like a kid.
Yeah.
It's very, very needy. Always seeks attention.
So you're just sectioning off right now, Cisco?
Yeah, I'm just doing the sectioning even on both sides just to maintain the balance in the haircut. But since this is the side that we're gonna be doing the hard part in, just want to make sure it's perfect as well before I actually shave the line in there.
Now it's gotten pretty long, though. One of the things I noticed, it's like when I start having to use more product in the hair, it's time for a haircut. Time to get it trimmed out.
And how much are we taking off up there?
So about an inch. Said it's been what, like since the beginning of the year?
Yeah, it's been about 2 months.
Yeah. So about an inch. Still want to keep it nice and full up top. Normally, on average, hair grows about ½ an inch a month. So it's been 2 months since the last haircut up would put us at an inch. But I mean, it's all case by case. Some clients' hair grows a little bit slower than others. And I don't know if it's true, but if it grows faster in the summer than the winter. What do you do for work, Ed?
I'm a physician. I'm a ear, nose, and throat doctor.
Right on.
Have you ever had to go to one of those?
Nope.
Good.
But I know a lot of people here in Austin probably see you because of allergies, right?
Yeah, Central Texas allergies, man.
Yeah, man. I don't know. I've never gotten affected by the allergies here in Austin.
It's all the trees and grasses.
What's the, I guess, in your line of work?
Mm-hmm.
How are other doctors or other people in your job viewed with beards? I should say, not beards.
Beers.
Yeah. No, that's a good question. It's hit or miss, you know? A lot of the younger folk, everyone seems to wear a beard nowadays. A lot of the older folk are more clean cut.
Yeah.
I think what was the most thing that I can say in my training at LSU, there was an unofficial clean shaven policy. You could wear a beard, that wasn't frowned upon. You could wear clean shaven, but you couldn't be in between.
Yeah.
Or they'd say this was not very professional, so you needed to have a clean cut beard or a shaven face.
Do you feel like it adds like a layer of like trust if someone is like clean shaven, with doctors?
That's a good question as well. No, I think it's just a matter of personal preference.
Yeah.
So I didn't start wearing a beard till about a year ago. And I'd always kind of flirted with it, gotten so far, and then just decided, you know what? This is what I want to do. And I haven't noticed any difference.
Nice.
I think it's just all a matter of professionalism.
So you're sectioning it off as you move to the sides?
Yes. Now that that's section, I don't want to have the hair flopping over. This is going to be all the length to be retained. I'm going to start debulking with a 1 1/2 open, which is technically like a 2. I'm looking to keep the shape, the contour of his head following that. Do people ever tell you that you look like the guy from Step Brothers?
I was going to say that.
And Parks and Recreation.
Yeah.
Adam Scott.
Yeah.
All the time.
All the time?
All the time. So he's a good looking guy. I don't mind.
I just thought about that right now. It's like, you want to punch me in my face, don't you?
He's gotten a lot more popular too.
Mm-hmm.
Where did you learn your trade? Francisco?
Picked it up in school, man, at UT.
Okay.
Yeah, I was a dorm barber.
Which dorm?
Stayed in Whitest Court up by King Solving.
Yeah.
I got real serious after graduating. That's just pretty much all I was doing in my apartment.
Mm-hmm.
And at the beginning of 2013, my girlfriend was like, "Hey, you should think about getting your barber's license."
Mm-hmm.
I looked around, and the wait list for this one school at that time, there was only one. It was about a 1.5 year wait. And I was just like, "Yeah, I can't do that." Like, I was motivated to do it then and there.
Mm-hmm.
So I packed my bags up and went out to Houston.
Oh, okay.
Moved in with the parentals again.
Yeah.
And I was there for about a 1.5 years. I moved back here to Austin in the middle of 2014.
And then set up shop?
Yeah, I started working with the shop I'm at now. Been there since. I remember 2013, 2012 was like the big start of like the side part and the hard part, like traditional barber haircuts. But a lot of European styles are heavily influencing the American market. By that I mean like if you were to Google like European crop,
Okay.
Like you'll see what I'm talking about. But that's a very popular hairstyle out there in Europe right now.
Is that like the soccer player haircut, pretty much?
Almost. Has a very heavy fringe, like hair's being pulled forward.
Okay.
The bangs are kind of uneven, choppy, and it's either like a very distinct fade up to that length. I think personally this hairstyle suits you better.
Well, thank you.
It makes the image of like a doctor like more pronounced. He's like, oh, I'm a doctor.
What already have on Francisco?
This is the 1 1/2.
Okay.
Is this where the transition begins?
Yeah, I kept the 1 pretty low, like around this area here, just more like to clean up around the nape. Just I don't want to like a very extended blend. Like if the 1 was here, it would give me a very short range of blend or fade area. And since we already did the sides with the shears already, I want to keep that shape in mind when I'm working with my clippers.
This is where you can really see it start to take the shape now.
Oh yeah.
And this just continues that blend, correct?
Yeah, this is more like detailing. I like to use a clipper over comb to like debulk.
Okay.
And do the scissor over comb to detail any dark spots or any long hairs that the clipper might have left behind. What were some of the challenges that you face with growing the beard? Like things that you're like, whoa, this is new.
Getting past the itchy phase.
Yeah.
That was the hardest part. Then once that calmed down, no more ingrown hairs. Just kept it ever since. It's been about a year. And then that first time that it got really bushy, I had to go get a beard trimmer. That was when I knew I was going to keep it.
Was that a learning curve, like using the beard trimmer?
You know, I didn't think so, but I didn't get like a super fancy one or anything. Just needed to decide what number to put it on.
Yeah.
Already, I was like the only guy in my guy group
that had a beard.
That didn't have
that didn't have.
Yeah. We go on a guys trip every year. And it was like 2 years ago, we were all in Portland. And I remember looking at the pictures. I'm like, man, I'm the only one who shaves.
All right, let me put the headrest on the back.
Yeah, so this will be my first time. I've actually never had it trimmed.
was going to ask you.
Or looked at all.
Yeah.
Besides myself.
Goodness, we talked about in the consultation with Kev, like I want to make it more straight to like accentuate his jaw, as opposed to having these edges cut out. So I'm just gonna bring up his line just to alleviate some of his on the sides.
Okay.
Put a little bit of the styling balm on it just to help with some of the flyaways. And I'm just literally just like gracing the top just to, again, just for the flyaways. So you can check out, I cut a little bit closer, and the sides.
Man, that looks awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like the shape of the back. That looks great.
And still keeping all that, the majority of the flow up top too, so just to make it all presentable and neat.
Very professional.
Yes, sir.
How you doing, everybody? I'm John Loftus from Make Your Mark Barbershop in Manayunk, PA, and I'm here with
Tony.
What are we going to do today, Tony?
Today I want to do a skin fade, kind of keep the top a little bit on the longer side.
Okay.
Take my mustache down to pretty much the scruff on the sides.
All right.
A little flavor saver, take it off the lip.
All right. We're going to do the hard part, or are we going to keep it natural?
Keep it natural, please.
All right. Sounds good. I usually start out with my Andis Supra with the detachable 2 on it. Make my first guideline cut. I take the 2 up and rock it out. The very top there, just to clean out all the bulk.
I try to get my hair cut every 2 to 4 weeks. We've got 6 weeks out right now, so it's pretty bulky.
So then I go in with my Andis cordless outliner. I make my 0 line. I like to take it right to the point of his head there, and then go back from there. A little bit of a dip towards the back. always flicking out at the top. I like to use this Andis outliner because I was able to get it adjusted with my seniors so they blend in nice and even together. From there, I'm going to move on to the Babyliss shaver. I like to leave myself a little bit of room. I don't want to take it all the way up to the trimmer line. Leave myself about a 1/4 inch or so under that line. Now that we have all that hair cleared out, switch over to my wall seniors, and I go in with an open 1. I like to do that because it helps lighten the line at the bottom and essentially helps me fade down. I'm taking this just under that 2 that I started with. You see how it's blending in there nice. I like to fade in a revolution style, kind of go from one side to the other. I've tried it where you do one side. Some people can do it and they do it amazing. I always seem to end up lopsided. So then I switch to closed. Flicking at that line, taking it about halfway up. So far all I did was open 1 and closed 1, and that line is almost blended out. A little bit of a dark spot here, open about halfway, go in with the corner. It's about as much as I'll be able to get with that. So I switch over to the half guard. Open, same thing, flick at that line and just lighten it up. His hair kind of grows on a little bit of an angle going towards the back of the head, so I want to kind of use the clipper to use it to pick up the hairs and cut them. I'm going to drop it down to closed. Hit any of those lines that look heavy. Open that guard about halfway and just kind of pick at spots darker up at the top. Really want to integrate the 2 bands together. Fully open and flick right into where you cut before. It's all been work with guards at this point. A little bit of a dark spot here I can pick out. Look down for me. Some here we can go in and get and clean up, and also some right here. Still with the wall seniors. I open it about halfway, which would be like the 0.25 setting. And I'll have Tony tilt his head, stretch the skin a little bit, and with the corners, while plucking and flicking, lighten up these spots. I don't want to take a lot of hair off at this point, so there's only very little minimum cuts being made. back to open. Just gonna lighten this spot a little bit right here. From this point, I'm gonna move into blending the sides to the top. Switch to the 2.5. Same thing, just rocking out, taking the blade straight up to let the hairs fall naturally where they will. I'll come back in a little bit later and scissor over comb and make this transition real nice. And this, we're just picking up the hairs, just the very ends of them. Switching over to scissor over comb. We're going to knock this weight line here down. When I'm doing scissor over comb, I like to have one finger on the head. It gives me stability there and range of motion. Straight up with the hairs, right off of the head. How the sides looking so far, Tim?
It's great, man.
Good?
Yeah.
All right. How much were you thinking about taking off the top?
You could probably take maybe a half an inch off.
Half an inch off the top?
Leave it a little longer in the front. You can taper it in the back.
All right, sounds good. And what I like to do when we're doing a side part like this, I cut the top hair on an angle. You kind of picture the hairs as like a book. As they fall over, everything evenly goes over. So if the hairs on this side are too long, they're going to crash and you're going to have a line in there. You don't want that. You want it to be nice and smooth. So you go and you take the first bit of hair up, first section, about that much on this angle right here. Take that right off. Next cut, same type of angle, not as extreme. And follow that same guide across the top. Same point, there's my guide there. Kick that right off. Same thing, there's my guide there. Boom. One of the reasons why I like to do it this way is because short hair pushes long hair. So you have shorter hair here, it's going to push the hair this way. It's going to make it lay nice and flat. As I go through, I like to comb it out, get an idea of how it's going to look, see if there's anything I missed, anything I need to clean up. Some hairs in the back here. Now I'm just doing a little bit of clipper over comb to finish up that blend from the top to the side. I like to go in with the thinning shears at this point, right along this ridge right here, just to lighten it up and get rid of this kind of heavier weight line. When I'm taking this bottom line out, I like to go on an angle and brush it down because it doesn't cut as much hair. You're going with the grain. When you go against the grain, you cut a little more. I don't want to cut that much, so I'm going down. So now for Tony's stash, we just take the beard down to stubble. He doesn't really like it shaped up or cleaned up or anything like that. Just pretty easy maintenance. So that we go in with just the Andis cordless outliner, and we're just going to clean all this up. While I'm cleaning all these beard hairs up at the same time, I'm also kind of using this opportunity to shape the top of his mustache. Get any little stragglers that are sticking out and not part of it. Alright, so now in this area, everything here is going to stay. All this is going to go. Are we still handlebarring?
More so kind of like points, like a little bit of...
Okay.
Yeah, not all the way down to here, like we've done a few times, more
Okay.
along, kind of clean it right to there.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
That way it preserves all these hairs at the bottom here that we can have to come down with the mustache. Got to get in there on his little butt chin. Make sure you get all those hairs.
But pray tell, what is a butt chin?
Butt chin is this little dimple right there that kind of looks like a butt.
Kind of looks like a butt.
I just want to make sure his triangle is square. I want to make sure we're even here. So it looks like I might have to take a little bit here, maybe a little bit off of there. Cleaning these hairs off the lip just gets it that nice finished look. How's that looking, Tim?
It's perfect.
You like it?
Yeah, it's my favorite.
All
I
right.
love it.
At the end of every service, we like to finish up the client with a hot shave on the neck. I'll put a little bit of product in there for him. It's a shiny product, water-based, so I like to blow it out a little bit so it's not super wet. Work the product through your fingers, into the hair. You want to get it down to the root, not just on the top. All right, we're all finished here with Tony. We did the skin fade with the side part, brought the beard down, and cleaned up the mustache.
I love it.
it's me, Jay. We're gonna cut Carlos again. No skin fade. We're gonna put side part in and just tidy up the top and maybe just take a little bit of weight out. I might just chop into it. I think we'll probably end up with about a 1 around the lowest edge, just so we still have some detail. I think it's become winter now and we're all growing up and getting out of skin fade.
In a brand new barbershop in London.
Yeah, Camberwell Grove, check it. Give it a follow, at Off Cut Barbers London. Boom.
I want to keep a side parting because I'm digging the side parting at the moment. With the top though, yeah, as you said, maybe take some weight off it. I kind of want to like still come in or flowing like that.
Okay. Yeah, cool. We just work with the way that the growth pattern is, right? Okay.
Yeah, take a bit of weight. This is now catching up, so it should be fine.
Yeah, well, basically, what I might do is because it's still a touch longer in the middle there, like minimally. Yeah, actually, you're fine. It's obviously shorter here, so I might keep a little bit more weight here, but we'll blend it so that it does that little swoop. Because I know you like that kind of little swoop. All of this sitting quite square. It's a lot easier for you to maintain, right? Suits you exactly.
Cool. Do you want to wash it?
Yes, definitely, definitely. The last one. Anyway.
I like it.
Oh, looking fresh.
We've just given Carlos a shampoo because he had quite a lot of build-up of product. Also just blow-dried his crown so that it sits a little bit more natural. And then I'm just going to go in literally clipper over comb. But you see I've just angled the clippers out, angled the comb out a little bit. So instead of coming in square, I've kind of put the corner in. And then from that point, we're just going to run it square. Square, square all the way down. I don't want to go too short on the bottom of Carlos for a change. We want to just have a nice haircut for a change. We did a couple haircuts ago when he came to another shop that I was in, and I kind of liked it because it was just a nice classic normal haircut. You know, Carlos is always one for a skin fade. Not always, you know, but I think it's also because he was wearing a hat at that day. Remember, you said just to keep it a little bit longer. Because it looks a bit silly when you're wearing a hat and you've got a skin fade underneath it.
For me, anyway. I don't like it.
Well, for me, I've got no choice, don't I? I have to be bald underneath my hat because I've got no hair. Yes. If anybody wanted to know, I'm using a pair of Nico 7-inch Cobalt. They're specifically designed for barbering. They come in a nice shape, so they're ergonomic for the hands. And very sharp as well. When I first got them, you could shave with them. I damaged my hair really badly from a young age, man, wearing hats all the time, and I had a massive mohawk at one point, which was like bright red and silver and black with an Anarchy A on it. Oh, my good old punk days, I really miss them. If I had my hair back, I'd have a mohawk right now, I think. That I'm all gonna sort out now when I cut the top. One touch. I love these little bottles. Until they stop working. No, they're really good. I'm just connecting in the back here. We're just pulling it across. Cutting it all on base.
You love pulling it across, don't you?
Yeah, always pulling it across, mate. How's it hanging? Slightly to the left. From the back now, where I've connected in, we're just going to take a little bit of length off of that, yeah? I'm just going to progress it to the front, everything square. Because when you cut square, obviously the front ends up being a bit longer because the head dips here. So you can see that's higher than this point here. If you cut it all square, that's how we'll still have his volume in front. Notice a lot of people going around there and then it just doesn't sit as correctly as you want it. You don't have the cushion behind it. Cutting it all on base, and then I'll go and cross-check it in the opposite direction, front to back. So because we've already cut it in the part, that's all blended, we're going to keep all of that because it needs that for the volume, right? Okay. Just go in and cross-check that. What I'm going to do here, instead of blending this, right? Do you remember what we said last time? Just keep that weight on it because you see how that sits? Do you want to do that? I think it's better. We'll see. Once it's dry, if I feel it's still a bit heavy there, we can always just cut into it, yeah? Because also, I don't want it to look too much like a bit of a comb over here. Do you know what I mean? So we'll see. We'll see. Let's dry it and we'll see. Just a bit of grooming spray, so this will just help us set the hair in, and then we can go and just chop into it a bit. I know to a lot of people this is going to look like we've done nothing to your hair and it's just standard, but I'm sure you're going to notice the difference, Carlos. Trickiest thing is when the crown's so strong, right, is to maintain the weight here and the weight here. I've seen a lot of haircuts go bad where the back is not really considered in the way that the crown actually grows. Well, I'm not saying I know everything, but I know how to use a growth pattern to the right way. That, you can see, is all growing that way. Take too much out there, you miss it. Same thing on this side. All this weight that we've tried to build up here, I'd rather just cut into it instead of scissor over combing it all the way. You can go quite deep as well if you want. I've got a nice little handy trick to get rid of this little edge that sticks out a bit. I'm just going to bring this in a little bit. Just slicing here. You've seen me do this before, obviously. This is just to direct that hair to go that way. You can see we've got a little bit of a gap there between where the contour of the hair was and where the sides actually start connecting. So I'm just point cutting that to actually soften the blend a bit. It's just a touch. You can see there's a little bit, feels a bit heavy, so I'll just go in there and cut that in. Right, and you want me to take a bit of weight at the top? Just a touch, nothing crazy.
Yeah, because now it's shorter, it probably doesn't need much stick enough. Yeah.
And plus it's going to grow a little bit nicer then. Just on the ends here, because this is kind of where Carlos has that issue of it all bunching up, so just trying something out, see if we can get that to sit a bit nicer.
Oh yeah, I'm not a guinea pig, you
Of course you are, you've always been a guinea pig in my chair, mate.
So you got hair like that, you know when you comb everything backwards and then it's like realisation. I guess you can start, we'll be back in 2 minutes. Yeah. Do you have a hair on it? No, just hair. Just hair. Okay, 23.
I know it pulls a little bit, Carlos, but I'll be gentle.
That's no fun. I'm getting hungry. What are we doing for lunch?
Just try to keep that weight on the back there. I don't want to go too short, or else it springs.
I kind of want to try something different with the beard, man, before I actually shave it all off.
So how's about maybe we fade it? So we'll go quite short here, fade it all the way to around about here, and you keep all of that length. There won't be a line or anything, I hope. We'll see how it blends. We'll see how it blends, because your beard's quite dark, and if you go short,
doesn't work. My head's
does it? Have you tried it? Yeah. That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, so
Why don't we just, do you want to fade the neck in nice and high? Yeah, we'll keep maybe just all of this here and then trim this. But no fade, do you know what I mean?
Keep it down here.
Yeah.
There.
Yeah.
And nothing else.
Okay. So I've got a 175 guard here that I'm just going to use for blending into this. We're going to keep that today for Carlos. We're going to see if he likes it or not. It's coming up onto the cheeks. I'm probably going to end up with a low number 1. It's the metal number 1 that Wall used to do ages ago.
Oh, you really like doing this, man.
Because then when you let it go back up, you're not messing with the fade up here, you just, if that makes sense. It's the same as when you're fading on the sides, you tend to want to pull the skin up or down, depending. Let me just do the underneath and I'll let you have a look, yeah? I got all the time in the world for Ibs though, he's a G.
Yeah.
He was a really nice guy.
A peacock.
Oh yeah, yeah, it does look like a peacock. Is that your true representation of yourself, Carlos? A peacock. Do you want to keep your soul patch or you want your soul patch short?
Leave it for now.
So to keep that as a point, you cut one side and then the other side, yeah? Just so you know, just if you wanted to know that. Just get rid of a little bit of your length there. Oh, sorry, mate. Do you know who you remind me of?
Fu Manchu.
No, Tex Avery.
The Tex Avery.
Man, it was the, Yosemite Sam, Tex Avery. The guy with the, no? Am I thinking of something completely different?
I ain't got a clue what you're talking about.
Tex Avery, man, is the dude that was in, like, the Looney Tunes. With the tash like this. No? He says he likes my haircuts, but secretly he probably hates them. It's perfectly fine. Lift your head up, mate. Keep still. So.
Hello, Beardbrand. We are at Gentleman Rose Club today and we're cutting Jose's hair and beard.
What's your name?
They know who I am, mate.
No, who are you?
You know who I am, mate. We've been here before. This is not our first rodeo, is it? So we're just going to comb through the hair at the moment. Just check there's nothing restricting the cut.
What are we doing?
We're going to do a skin fade and a beard trim. And I'm just checking now to see where the occipital bone is on the back. It's really thick hair, this is, almost like Afro hair. Portuguese hair, yeah. Actually, it's very similar to your hair, mate. It's very similar to your hair. Okay, so we're going to start with a number 2 guard and we're going to work out our first bit of weight on the hair. So we'll start at the back and we're just going up, putting in the top of the blend, marking that out on the back of the head. I like to drop it about there just so that it's a smooth transition. If you go any higher than that, it won't look right and the haircut won't sit right. Are you keeping the natural part in, yeah? Yeah. Don't worry so much about what's going on down here because I'm going to take that out with a 0 at the end. We're just going to copy the same on the other side. And this is just kind of rough at the moment. We're not going to be measuring on either side of the head. We're just going to put it in where it feels right with the 2. I'm going to show a different way of fading that I normally do today. I've been messing around with different techniques and I found a new one. So on this kind of hair, it's really thick. I think it'd be better off doing a kind of smoother transition rather than a harsh fade. So we're going to take a 0 and we're going to start at the back of the head and put the 0 line in. Just tilt slightly down for me. Okay, I'm going to take it up to around, I'm going to find the occipital bone. It's about there. So I think we should go, you can either go above it or below it. So I'm going to go around here. It's about there. I'm just working that round. To the top of the ear. This makes for a real nice fade because you've got dark hair on a light scalp. So it just seems to work nicely, that combination. So I'm going to be standing at the back now and just looking, see what needs changing. Just a little bit of correction there. But then apart from that, I'm pretty happy with that baseline. So I'm going to move to the side now. I'm going to put my 0 in here. And I'm arching it. I'm just dusting that down. And that's the bottom of our skin fade. So what we're going to do on here, because we want a longer fade, we're going to take a number 1. And it's going to be closed. Okay, so it's going to be closed. And we're going to put a guideline in. About an inch, I'd say. So that's going to go all the way around the head. Hair at the back of the head will be harder to fade than the hair on the sides, just because it's thicker. So you can instantly see how that goes clear through here, and then at the back, it's denser. Okay, so we've got 1.5 guard. And then we're going to half close it. So it's in like a 1.2 0.75 position. So half closed, like that. Okay. Now we're going to work out this bit of weight. We're going to blend this, we're going to blend the 1 to the 2 first. Okay, and we're going to drop it down. So it's in a 1.75 position, and now it's going to be fully closed at a 1.5. And we're just going to flick out that last bit. You can see that starting to blend in now. Back to the number 1. And we're going to open that fully to a 1.5 position. And then we're just going to flick out just a little bit of weight that we can see that's left. It's not much at all really. So none's at the back where I can see it's slightly heavier through this section. If you just took it down again for me, dude. So around here, I'll even move it just a little bit less. And just take out just that back section, just so that you get a bit of a smoother blend just on that bit. Okay, so we've got detailer. And now the plan is just to whip out up to the line. Just coming short of the line, so not to put another line in. Just cleaning up really, just polishing the finished product. Okay, so now we've got just seniors with a open blade, no guard, so it's 0.5 position. Plan now is to work from the back, and we're going to go a little bit higher than the line. We're going to start just working that out slowly. So yeah, at the moment I'm just flicking, because I can't get the blade flat to his head, I'm pulling back the ear and I'm just flicking out. Now if we go to work on the line first, we can then blend back up anything else we put back into the fade here. So now I'm going to drop it down to a 0.25. I'm going to keep working out that line. Okay, now we're going to drop down to 0. So all the way down. And we're just going to pick out any areas that look like they need a bit of work on. You can use the corner of the clipper, or you can use the flat blade against the head. Okay, so we're going to use 0.5 guard now to finish off the fade. We've got that on a closed position. And then we're going to open it to a 0.75 position. So open it halfway. And with this, we're literally just going to take out any blemishes. And we're working down. So we're going to flick out, but we're going to work down the guard. This just lightens up anything we put in the top when we're fading that out with the 0.5. Right, then I'm going to drop it right down to a 0.5. So it's closed now with a 0.5 guard. And we're just going to work out that last little bit. Yeah, 0.5 guard's really good for blending out just that little bit above where you've done the 0. I think it's because it's like a 0.6 when it's closed. So it's just it's kind of a length that you can't get with any other guard. So we're just edging up now. Quite happy with that fade. I'll give it another spin at the end, just check there's nothing I can see in another light.
Yeah, I watched Patrick Swayze Roadhouse and I thought I could do that. Good update on film.
This is very, very, very thick hair. It's great for fading, but hard to cut with scissors. That's why you're going to need a good scissor, like the Mataki Beast. So with this thick hair, sometimes I'll cut it with the scissors, and then to remove a bit of weight or to put a bit of shape in, I'll use a clipper with a big guard in it, and I'll use it kind of freehand. So that can help create a bit of shape. How much are you looking to lose off the top, man?
Well, I guess we need to take a bit off, otherwise I'll look like a cocoon.
Otherwise you're going to be back soon, aren't you? Okay, so we're just pulling up into the fingers there. I can kind of feel where it needs to come off.
First time I went and saw the Evans live, and he came to Bournemouth, and he said that there was, he'd never seen so many slopes, and he'd never seen bike. Apparently you can't even look at machines.
Right, just going to work my way around the edge of the hair.
That's what I said, there's all the mains of water gone off.
Yeah, well, we're lying.
And I'm just picking up.
Oh yeah, we're lying. You're a lion? Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to take a section from the back here.
The underpass on that round.
So
Completely filled, like you'd have to swim.
Go
When you went to see
Okay, so I've trimmed all the way around the edges now, and we've got quite a bit of weight from the top here. So I can see that it's lying flatter on this side and higher on this side here. So just take a number 6, closed. I'm going to work it through, not the fringe. It's more the back of the hair and to the side.
This is the 4th week. Look, you see all the hot leggings. Nice. And then, yeah. She's dressed for summer, isn't she? Wow. Yeah.
What that's done is it's put a bit of shape into this side here, so that it's not so bulky on one side. And that was literally by just running the clipper, and I can angle how much hair I want to take or not, like via that motion. We're going to work around with a clipper comb, and we're just going to take out that last bit of weight on the edges. We're using a hot heat now, so it's on, that's the hottest it can be, so we're just touching the hair really. That's kind of going to put it in shape, and then I'll set it with a cold. Just
there's a bench over this side.
Just dragging out all those hairs that stuck together. Okay, what's the general consensus with this beard then? Are we lining up
The idea is to grow it up a bit, but yeah, I would like to sharpen it up.
You're trying to grow it out though, yeah? On the chin and round the sides, okay, cool. So we're going to use freehand clipper work, just to set the sides in. Just tapering the side now, so we're using a one guard, 1.5 position. Then I'm going to drop it down to a 1. And then I'll finish that off in a minute with a guard. With no guard, sorry. I'm just dropping that down in stages to get a nice bend. Right, so now we're just going to trim the bottom line. I know that he wants to grow it out, but we're just going to tidy it up slightly.
Charlie. You're next.
Got to get a haircut. My hair's alright, it's not bad. Is your handyman guy coming back to put shelves back? Or have you... It looks like that, man. Are you done, boys?
Yeah, no, we're well, that's the master plan.
Yeah, boy. So we've trimmed underneath. Right, we're just going to clean this up with the blade now. Just give it that nice sharp finish.
And obviously private land. Yeah.
So somebody actually owns the beach then, do they?
Yes, they do. Yeah. Mr. and Mrs. Cooper Dean.
You have the bloke come over the whole of Bournemouth, isn't it? You have the bloke come over on the boat as well.
Oh yeah, no, we I brought a chocolate sandbags and we he owns Spotless Fire Letting Company. Okay. You see that knocking around? Yeah, we paid someone a few quid to sort the boats out with some corkscrews.
He does it in Southern Beach and fucking winds it up there.
Yeah. No mate, the thing is though, he doesn't do it secretly because she sat there, all you can hear is a Benny Hill theme tune.
Right, over the last month.
Hey, what's up, beautiful people? I'm here with my buddy Paul. We're at the Beardbrand Barbershop here in Austin, Texas. And Paul doesn't know what he's gonna get today because we're gonna keep him turned away from the mirror the whole time. So it should be fun. Let's do it. All right, Paul. So have you, I wanna say Eric told me you never had a fade before.
That is true. I had to describe what a dope fade looks like.
So describe your past haircuts to me, man.
I would say 3 around the sides, top to match.
Okay.
That'd be about it. Yeah.
So 3 on the side, top to match.
Yeah.
No, negative. Not doing that.
Well, he's moving, so this is.
This is.
So you need something
new level.
Final gift.
I gotcha. Well, what I'm gonna do, instead of putting a 3 here, maybe I'll put it up here.
Okay.
And down here, maybe we'll do a 1 or even a half.
Okay.
I think that'll, that way I won't completely shock your system by going straight bald right here.
I gotcha, yeah.
But you'll have a little bit of stubble around here and it's gonna grow in real nice shape.
All right.
And then for the top, how do you typically like to style it up there?
I think what you're looking at is about it.
That's usually,
it's just
that's
like
the usual move.
take my hand and drag it forward, and that would be it. After that is it.
All right, so when we faded today, we'll try something that you can style sort of doing this move instead of this one.
I see, okay.
We'll be doing something like this.
I see, okay.
Yeah, get you a nice little, maybe have a little bit of wave in the front. This will be the star of the show, and then everything else will be supporting cast.
Okay, right on.
I think it's gonna look pretty clean, man.
Cool.
So Paul, where are you heading to, man?
Washington, D.C.
Have you been before?
We've only been to visit, never lived there.
What takes you up that way, man?
Yeah, my wife, she got a job there, so moving there, and yeah, her brother's there, my family's in Philly, so it's kind of nice that way.
Nice, man. Yeah, I'm from Eastern Pennsylvania, but I haven't been up there in a long time, man.
You say you're from Eastern Pennsylvania?
Eastern Pennsylvania, out in the middle of nowhere.
Oh, like near Allentown, this?
Allentown, I was like a half hour, maybe 45 away.
Yeah.
Is that where do you have family over there?
Well, we're all in like Bucks County.
Right on.
Yeah.
Yeah, you weren't too far from me, man. And I'm trying to think, usually just pull your hair straight forward. I don't want to give you anything too complex to style. But what I had in mind is like pretty common, man. I think the learning curve should be pretty short.
Okay.
Right. Bird box haircut. Except I'm the one who's blindfolded.
Yeah, that's what
Oh, what is that movie? It's... No, not Speed.
Classic.
Chris, what's the difference between like a fade and a taper?
You know, a fade is a taper, but a taper is not a fade. Maybe it's one of those type of situations. Basically, a fade is a really close taper. That's a good way to think about it. So instead of the 0, the half, the 1, and then until the full head of hair back here, it's just going all the way around the head. But on Paul, we're not gonna go all the way down the skin. Although it'll be pretty close. And any aspiring barbers watching right now, when you see stuff like this, don't even ask, bro. Click this on, just whack that immediately.
All right, right on.
I got you covered, man.
I think in college, I would let it go super long and then nail it down to a crew cut for the sake of waiting so long for the next haircut. And probably didn't really give up on that style, that mode. Maybe a little more frequent with the haircuts these days, but that's about it, yeah. But yeah, this would be first time with a decent haircut, I would say.
Take it easy the first couple days out there, man.
Oh yeah, that's what the ball cap's for, right, Eric? Yeah, gotta wear that Washington Nationals hat.
Not going to be covering that part.
Oh, I got you.
Oh man.
The pirate that walked into the barbershop with a steering wheel attached to his hip. Barber looks over and goes, "My God, you got a steering wheel attached to your hip." Barber goes, "I know. Darn, it's driving me nuts."
It's driving me nuts.
Nice.
Because it's steering wheel.
Oh yeah.
Hanging from his nuts.
Got it.
Drives nuts.
So if I wet it on the sides, especially like, you know, because I'm blending straight up here, like I'm finishing off the fade here, so I can see where all the weight is hiding on the sides here with the hair wet. And I mean, this is pretty much where I knew it was. But as I go and trim it up, I'll be able to get like a smoother transition going up the side. And then for the top, you definitely want to saturate the hair, because cutting dry hair, I don't know, Bob, what do you think? I can't quite finish this one.
I usually base it on the texture of the hair.
Yeah, get in there.
Really thick stuff. Wet hair becomes a little bit more pliable, and you can boss it around, and it becomes a little more delicate. Whereas dry hair, it's super coarse. Trying to smash through it, not as precise. It's a little more tiresome. So yeah, that's a big one. I cut dry hair when, like I said, it's a texture issue. If they have hair that kind of sprouts out as it gets short, wet hair will lie to you.
Oh, it's every single time, man.
As soon as it dries, it'll just do whatever the hell it wants. So.
Man, I'm gonna do my best to cut this symmetrical for you so that you can still style it forward if you'd like.
Sure, yeah.
Or if maybe you fall in love with your hair looking super cool.
I mean, this is like, we did 3 or 4 backyard COVID cuts with
boy.
my wife
Okay.
with the kitchen shears. Yeah, so.
Oh.
So, this is.
Did she get the hair wet first at least?
No.
That's a big part of it, man.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Because if it's dry, you'll pick up bigger sections with this texture of hair, like what Bob was describing with lighter stuff. A lot easier to chop up.
First blind haircut, quote unquote. Or not seeing, yeah.
How much anxiety do you have right now about this?
Nah, it's good.
Okay, you're a good sport. You're a good sport, man.
I'm excited.
It's the right attitude to have in the barbershop, man. Working with the barber is really a teamwork effort, man. I need time to learn your hair. You need time to learn who I am and how to communicate with me in a way that, you know, gets you the product that you want.
Absolutely, yeah.
Now, if you guys want to do some of this, what you're seeing at home, if you get yourself one of these one of these fine-tooth flat top combs. And I'm actually using a 1.5 to do the clipper over comb here because I want to leave some bulk behind here. He's got this medium to light density texture. And if I'm real aggressive with the blend, I think the hair might spike up a little more than I wanted to. So if I leave more weight here, I feel like the hair's just gonna lay down better. Oh man. Eric, do you guys row together? Is that what's going on?
Well,
oh yeah.
We used to.
You guys used to. Very cool.
A week ago.
Yeah. Yeah, we were rowing doubles. Yeah, Paul and I are about the same speed on the water, and so he's really good to row with. And he's, we call him Dr. Roboto. He's got like 20 degrees. I think he's a doctor.
Yes.
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 And he can, like, in rowing, like, you want to catch at the same rhythm over and over again.
Gotcha.
For like probably like a half an hour straight, he could maintain the exact same stroke, like catching it, the exact same cadence.
Do you have like a rhythm going on in your head, or like what the
Yeah, you just
hell,
like
man? How do you do that?
get super focused into watching the water behind you and nothing else, and just half hour later you've been doing the same thing. I don't know. Temple smoke? Oh, the fragrance you just described when we were walking over here. Yeah, it's I don't know. I really like it. I think the backstory of I guess you said it's from fragrances that are typically.
Well, you don't have to sell it. You just got to talk about why you like it. Dude. I can sell it.
All right, right.
I can sell it.
I'll tell you, I just like the smell. I mean, that conference 2 years ago, I guess, the conference we were at. I got that one and 2 others, and I just really like this one. Get the use the utility bar every day.
Thanks, brother.
Get you hooked up with that for being on the channel.
That's a pretty sweet party gift.
Thank you.
Little sea salt spray, styling balm. All right, let's grab out some of this Temple smoke. Straight out the box. So buttery. Actually, too much. Just a pea size, sir, after blow drying.
Okay.
Start there, and then you can always add more if you need to.
Okay.
This is all preference. Oh man, Temple smoke smells so good, bro.
Absolutely, yeah.
So I went heavy on the side that we're parting.
Okay.
I'm gonna go a little heavy back here in the swirl.
Yeah, yeah.
And otherwise, I'm just gonna kind of get it in there, but I don't want to just rake it in there. Not too crazy.
Okay.
The volume is from the brush that I used in the blow dryer.
Okay, okay.
So, oh man, it sounds like you had some of it. So I used the brush to pull the hair in the opposite direction that it grows.
Yeah.
And then I focused the heat on the root of the hair shaft.
Okay, okay.
So that's what gives it that little bit more flip in the front.
Yes, yeah, yeah. Cool.
So yeah, you pull the hair in the opposite direction that it grows, aim the heat at the root, and then we move the heat up the hair shaft, or that grouping of hairs.
Right.
And then you're gonna blow it in the direction that it does grow.
Okay, okay.
Because that's the direction that you're ultimately gonna style it. All right, Paul, get ready.
All right.
Don't be too upset with me.
Whoa, nice. Whoa.
Right, dude?
Awesome.
What?
Wow, that's awesome. Cool. Cool.
It's pretty nice hair, man.
Nice.
Next
Look like
picture.
you're no longer just some peon, huh?
My name's Dave, we're at Gentleman Rose Club Birmingham with Amrath and we're cutting his hair and beard today. So Amrath, I want you to tell me what you want me to do.
Can we go for a 1 on the back and the sides?
Yep.
Let's keep the part in here.
Yep.
And then probably shorter on the top really, because it's getting...
Keeping it coming back though, yeah?
Yeah, keeping it coming back.
Are we putting a hard part in on this side? Or do you just have a natural part in?
Mainly natural, but sort of the style it is at the moment, I just need it shorter.
Tidy, okay. And then what's the lowest grade on the sides?
1.
A 1, okay, no problem. Right, cool. And then we'll talk beard in a sec, but I'm assuming you want to keep the same, you want to keep the sash?
Of course.
Yeah, and you want to just taper in the sides, yeah?
Yeah, so basically just a bit less really, so more sort of cleaner on the sides and stuff. Probably, yeah, some length taken off here and then, yeah, just a little bit of a tidy up here.
Okay, so we'll cut your hair first and then we'll go into more detail on the beard, yeah? Awesome, right, so I'm just going to dampen the hair down. This is strong hair, mate, this is. Very strong hair. So I'm going to comb it out and I'm going to keep the natural part in on this side. It's important to establish where that's going to sit at this point. It's already sitting quite nicely, but I want to make it really defined and clear. That's just going to keep things segregated and keep the haircut in shape. So now we're going to go on with the blend. So I'm going to use Wild Magic clips. So we've got a number 2 guard and I've got it in a closed position. So I'm going to put my number 2 line in around the temple area, just above the temple area, all the way around. I'm going to be dipping down slightly at the back. And that's going to give me the canvas for my blend. So we're going to be blending from a 1 to a 2, so it's not too hard, not too taxing the blend. Nice and easy, and we're going to work down the grades. So how have you been then, bud? You good?
Yeah, good mate, good. Like I say.
Did you go abroad for a little while?
I was in Kenya in September.
Kenya?
Yeah.
Okay, nice.
Ended up doing the Masai Mara.
Okay, explain in more detail what that is.
It's basically, so time of year we went, it's the animal migration, so it's between, so the Masai Mara sits on the border with Tanzania.
Right.
So it's basically open plan jungle and you're in an old sort of army jeep.
Yeah.
Driven around and you see everything.
You just see all the animals migrating. Yeah?
Migrating, in natural habitat, all that kind of stuff. It was absolutely ridiculous.
I can imagine that being quite cool.
Yeah, I'll show you some of the videos later.
Yeah, did you see any lions?
I saw loads of lions.
Yeah.
Is
it scary being that close in the wild?
It is a bit disconcerting. It's like, so say that umbrella is there?
Yeah.
Where we are now?
Well, you're that close?
Yep.
Oh my gosh.
Yep.
That is terrifying.
Yep.
Right, so we've now got a number 1 guard and we're going to have the lever fully open, so that becomes a 1.5. And we're going to be working just a bit lower than the 2, and we're working down the grades, coming in this direction. So it's good to switch from a comb now to a brush, so you can clear the debris. And the lowest grade is going to be a 1, so I'm leaving enough room there to fit a 1 in as well. I don't like to go too high, I like to leave a bit of bulk so I can work with and kind of leave a lot of shape. And then you find as well that dark hair on a lighter kind of skin tone really fades well, unless you've got Carlos Costas' hair, which is the hardest hair to fade ever. So I'm working, although I've cleared a little bit of bulk here, I'm not worried too much about this at the time. I'm just kind of making it easier to fade down with the 1.5. So last time Carlos was here, it was on our opening day. Yeah, we did a few videos. We did one video, didn't we? Not a few. Did we do 2? We did 2.
Yeah, at least 2. 1 you, 1.
Yeah.
No, you did 2 and 1 Joe.
Yeah, they did 2, I did 1.
Yeah.
Oh, did I do 2?
3 videos.
Okay. So yeah, so that was the first couple of videos we did in the shop, and then this is the first time that Carlos has been up since. So it's nice for him to come and see the shop now. It's bedded in a little bit. So we've got a detailer and we've got our soft brush, and now I'm just going to put in a nice line around the edges. It gives me a bit of shape, and then I can just flick out the edges with my number 1. So again, not taking away the hair, pushing to it.
Tomorrow? No, next month. Christmas Day.
Just using the corner of the detailer now, I'm not using the whole blade.
I've doing something today,
Okay, again, we're going to, although I'm not trimming the beard yet, I know that I am going to trim the heel at some point. So I'm just going to tidy up around here. Put a nice line down the heel of the beard. And we've got some nice shape here. I'm going to come just over the ear now. We've already trimmed this slightly. Haven't gone too far into that, kept it nice and wide. So just pulling his ear out of the way again.
My mom, mate, I went over to see my mom while I'm not doing very well. Been in and out of Mannequin Tommy.
We've lined up the whole haircut. And we've now got a number 1 guard, and we're going to have it closed, so it's a full number 1, not a 1.5 now. And we're going to just take out just the edges for that last bit of the taper. Wow, I'm really happy with that blend. That's looking smooth. So we're going to move on to the top. Right, I've combed out this. The hair's nice and wet now, and I'm going to be pulling up and working my way backwards towards the right-hand side of his head. And I'm going to be over-directing my fingers that way to let the hair sit nicer and kind of graduate over. So over-directing. Something I've been recently doing is cross-checking this way as well. So instead of just going backwards, I'm working this way as well. I think I saw Scott from Ashley Road do this. I just like the look of it. And I found that it actually gives you a more even cut. So cutting in both directions is what I'm trying to get at here. And then you get that nice kind of shape on top. And that's ready to be blended with the 7-inch scissors. So we'll do a little bit of work on the parting while we're here. Spinning around so you can see. So I'm going to put it down. I want this parting to sit backwards. So I want the direction of the hair to move like that, not straight down. So I'm going to pull the hair and I'm going to put it forward. And that should entail, allow it to sit smoother. Okay, so we've got a 7-inch scissor, the Mataki arrow, and we've got a wide wall comb. I'm going to be pulling in and pushing out just to take out the weight there. So I'm moving with the scissor over comb, everything's moving at the same time. And then I'm using my mirror to check how that's sitting and if it's complementing the shape of the head. I might need to take a little bit more, I might need to maybe take the blend a little bit higher. It all depends on what it looks like in the mirror. I can see there's a little bit that needs to come off there. So I'm going to go a little bit further in. But less is more when you're blending with the scissors, I believe. And then you can kind of take a bit more as you go. I've never cut your hair before, have I, Amrath?
No, that's not.
Joe did it, didn't he? I think, yeah. Okay, that's sitting really nice there now. I can just see a little bit of weight through here. I'm not going to take that out with the 7, I'm going to take that out with my 20% thinner. So the 20% thinner is, it thins 20%, it takes out 20% of the bulk of the hair. So normally, you can see on this blade here, it has finer teeth instead of having a wider tooth like. So this is a 50. That's a 50. And that's a 20. I'm just brushing the hair back on a medium heat. So now if the hair is the right length, you can roll the brush and it will help the hair lie down. It picks it up, it dries it, and it lies it back down. So just blow drying the parting. I'm using the round brush and it's pulling up the hair and it's allowing me to dry it, and then I'm lying it down after. I've worked with the direction of the crown. So we've come out this way, that way, and now I'm blow drying this backwards. So moving on to the beard, just going to comb it through, and then I'm going to pull it all out with a bit of sea salt spray and medium heat on the hairdryer. So we've got sea salt, spiced citrus, festive season. Did I shock you then? Sorry, my bad. I'm going to dry this in as well. It's going to pull it out, it's going to give it some hold. What are you currently using in the beard?
Ironically, spiced citrus. Really?
Are you really?
Yeah.
Oh, well, there you go. Perfect. I love the scent.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, great scent. Do Beardbrand do like a fragrance tester kit that they can send out before people buy it? They do that, do they? Yeah, okay, so I could do with getting some of them. I've had a lot of people ask for that. Oh, I'm just going to pull that out of the way for now. Okay, so we've got a number 3 guard and it is fully open. I'm going to be coming around this side and I'm going to be blending in from around there. I can't say from today, I keep saying from.
What are you aiming to do?
From. So,
She is?
yes, she is.
Short back inside.
The shop mascot. So we're going 3.5 and we're blending up. And we're looking at the side as we do this, so we can guarantee it's going to have a nice shape. I'm dropping down to a 3. So we're going 3.5. And then we're dropping to a 3. 2.5, so the lever's fully open. Goes slightly higher. Lever closed, it's a 2. Slightly higher again. You're looking as well for it to blend. If there's a line there or there's weight, you have to take it out. That's what you're aiming to get rid of. Right, so we've now got the magic clips and we've got them with no guard on and we're closing the blade. Now we're going to go freehand. Boys, come on, mate.
Look at them like two little kids.
I know, mate. Daddy told us off. Daddy told us off.
They're going to have matching hats next.
Yeah.
Oh, I was actually going to get that out, I'm not going to lie. Oh my god.
So we're working. Take your chin up for me. I'm working at the angle of the beard. I'm taking off just enough to shape it. So this is almost sculpting. It's freehand. You've got to be really careful with how you approach freehand work. You do get more confident with it as you go, but less is more. I've got him sitting nice and straight in the chair. I've pulled down the neckline because that can give you a misleading angle. And I'm going to be just taking off what I think's hollow at the front. I'm not touching the skin because my blade is at full zero and it may nick him. So I'm conscious that I'm not going too close to the skin at this point. And now I'm looking from all angles at where the lines meet. So I've got one at the front, I've got one at the side, I've got a slight angle on that, probably 5-10 degrees. That'll give him a bit of movement with his neck. So he wears a collar on his shirt, he can move his neck side to side. If you don't cut the angle in, it'll be catching on whatever he's wearing. So a little bit of an angle there always helps for day-to-day movement. So I'm just going to clear it up now with a 7-inch scissor. And again, it's freehand. And this is just going to give that nice flat finish. I'm only moving one blade. And I'm not going too far in it. Whatever falls into the blade gets cut. So I'm literally under the beard now, I'm just tidying up. I'm not going too harsh with the lines. It's just taking away anything that's not part of the beard. This will give me a nice fresh feeling on the bottom as well. I trimmed it up, we've got a nice shape there now, and we're going to work on the line from the corner of the mouth to the temple. So we're going to tidy it underneath on the moustache first, okay? So again, we're going to put a little bit of a fishtail in, then we're going to clear above the lip. Well, I can see now that this is just like, when I pull these out, I can see that this one is just slightly longer, ever so slightly. So I'm going to take off just a couple of mil on the end.
It's always is one side thicker than the other.
Yeah.
Same as me, look, this one is so thick, that one is a lot thinner.
Yeah.
Yeah, perfect.
Yeah. The curl's nice though. Some of them just a nightmare. Yeah.
It suits you like that as well.
Yeah. We're going to use some of the tea tree moustache wax. So the way I use this is I'll put a little bit out on the balm stick and I'll push my nail across it. Pop the lid on. Do you know what somebody said to me a couple of weeks ago? They said, I've had an idea, £1 million idea. They went, moustache wax in a lip balm. And I went, yeah, I've got one, mate. Awesome, mate. So I'm going to warm that
A lot
up
of people actually use that. They just open it
and put it straight on. Yeah.
When it's yours and your personal use.
Yeah. So I'm pulling all the hairs together and I'm working out from that fishtail to the end. You pull it in line because you want it to lie together, really.
Oh, you do both? Yeah, I'm not quite ready. They started to do that.
We're going to now put some styling product in the top. So we're going to go for the we're going to go for the citrus spice citrus styling balm. So this can be used in the hair and beard. And you know this, you're familiar with that scent, aren't you? So I'm just going to warm that up between the hands. And then I'm putting it to the root of the hair with my fingertips. And I'm working that in. On this side here, I want to pull that back, so I'm pushing the hair in the direction I want to style it. So just got a streaker comb. These are great for adding a nice pattern or a texture to the hair. You can see it from the back here what that's done. See the waves? Yeah. So it's worth investing in one of them if you get time. Okay.